Well, the champions have been crowned, but there's space in the rest of the cabinet for one of these teams to occupy second and third place. The hierarchy will be announced today. It's the PS Classico, Police versus the Defense Force Ascension Tournament Matchweek 18 here at the La Joquita Recreation Ground. We welcome everyone all around the region to Trinidad and Tobago, the home of the Ascension Tournament. Good evening to all of folks locked in on Sportsmax, Scene TV across North America, and of course TCN TV6. James Sodders is my name, and I have the pleasure of making the calls in this big matchup together with Brent Sancho, former Trinidad and Tobago World Cup defender. A big match, a big occasion. The champion has already been crowned, but this match, certainly a lot of weight in this contest between Police and the Defense Force. Yeah, and of course if you look at the way both teams are going to approach it, they talked a lot about executing the game plan. We've seen tactical adjustments by Police FC. We've seen tactical adjustments by Defense Force. It is a derby game. It's a game that normally comes with a lot of tempo and a lot at stake. And so this evening's encounter is no different. The added incentive, of course, of a second or third place finish, as well as, of course, for that man, Brent Sam, the number 8 for Defense Force, an opportunity to win most goals. So you have your subplots amongst the bigger plot, which is a derby game that's being played for, of course, positioning. I expect a cracker, James. Well, this match certainly has all the hallmarks of a good blockbuster, as Brent Sancho would have alluded to. The captains, Adrian Fonset and Curtis Gonzalez, and the referee, Williams, in charge of this one. He'll be assisted by Nikolai Nyron, Cox and Myers. They will be the men in charge to keep law and order. Well, it's an irony that we mentioned that, because the military men, the army, in yellow, the oldest football club in Trinidad and Tobago, coming up against the second oldest Police. The last time these teams met in the competition, right here in the Ascension Tournament, a 2-all draw. Nobody separated, but there's still lots to play for. Of course, there's talk of the Caribbean Ascension Tournament later this year. A place is at stake in that. Defense Force, of course, hold a 1-point advantage over Police. They lie in 38 points. Police on 37. So it's all to play for, and we are here to bring you all the action. Let's take a look at the cast, starting with the Defense Force. Aaron Enel is in goal. Rodel Elcock will manage the defense with Kevon Blackman, Jelani Felix, and of course Curtis Gonzalez. Justin Sadu will look to continue his impressive form in the tournament, while Kevon Goddard, Keaton St-Hilaire, and Brent Sam will be looking to get goals for Defense Force. For Police, Adrian Fonset, the national reserve keeper, will be guarding the back line. Jabari Mitchell, one of their most important players, will wear the number 7, and he will be aided by Jamil Perry, who has been a wonderful addition since coming in, while Cameron Purcell has scored goals coming out of the back for Police. So Quincy Williams takes a look at his watch and decides that it is time for action here at the La Joquita Recreation Ground. It's the PS Classico, Defense Force versus Police. All Felix trying to find space only as far as Nanton. Long searching ball will make its way to Aaron Enel. Well, he's been a good goalkeeper. Aaron Ellen, the former national youth keeper, placing Christopher Bigart, who has kept goal for much of the first half of the season. Certainly a team full of depth. Defense Force.
Depth and quality.
Certainly.
We talked about Rangers, of course, their depth and quality. This is another team. I think when they look back at this tournament, James, they really only have themselves to blame. They've dropped points when they shouldn't have, and you really would have expected them, of course, to not just challenge, but they were favorites coming into this tournament.
Certainly were. So next, La Joquita Rangers all getting the better of Defense Force for the first time in competition. that the teams have played in. Still lots on the line to be had. Oh, here comes the police. This one is well cut out. And they will get a throw. Well, you spoke to some of the coaches. What are the keys for this match?
Well, they both spoke about the execution of the game plan, as I said before, James. They also mentioned that they're very wary of what the other has to offer from a threat perspective. And these two teams, you mentioned how old they and how long they've been around, and they certainly know each other very, very well. So, oh, that's not far off.
Oh, Thomas Edison is the only one that got some invention. Some good invention there, shown by Jamil Perry. He's been brought back into the lineup, a veteran. And, well, certainly has aided in getting goals for police.
Well, I think it's going to come down to individual decisions. And when a game like this is as tight as it is, it's what the individual does or doesn't do. And you talk about individual errors, and you talk about individual brilliance on the other side of it. And I just feel, James, that this particular fixture will be decided by that.
Here's Nanton, just behind Belgrade. Will be a defense force throw. Well, many in the stands that you're seeing here, always keen for a derby between these two teams. Here comes defense force. But you can expect lots of bruising tackles in this one. Nobody's taking prisoners. Right on cue. A challenge against Justin Sadu.
Well, both teams are known for their physicality, and it would be a huge disappointment if it's not on show here. They are a bruising, physical team, defense force or police. Two teams that you don't want to play against.
Well, Felix has come a long way around to use his expertise to deliver some good service into the area. Brent Sam is looking in there. And well defended in the end by Cadion Gabriel. Would be a defense force corner, their first real attacking threat. Well, he's seen as leading goal scorer title. He came into this match week 3 goals ahead. Now he's tied in goals with Atula Guerra. He's going to be hungry to pull away. 15 goals in the competition for Sam. Can he get his head on this one? That's away by Fonset.
Good goalkeeping, James. That's what you want. It's less than 5 minutes in, your first set play into the box, and your captain and goalkeeper comes out and makes a positive play like that. That's what you want. That's what a leader does.
Well, if anybody looks cool, he looks cool. Younger brother, of course, of Hector Sam, former TNT international. Football runs in the family. Oh, here's Sadu looking for something. It's well defended. High challenge, play allowed to continue. Gabriel. Bailey. Heavy touch from Jabari Mitchell. Oh, nutmegged by his own player. I don't think I've seen that very often. Maybe just a bit of nerves creeping in. Call for calm from the sidelines, and I assume that you're going to hear that call quite regularly in this kind of fixture.
It's been scrappy so far. It's not been as fluid as we may have wanted it. That is because of what's at stake, James. And of course, it is a derby game, but there's also prize money and positions to play for. That's enough to rattle some nerves.
Heavy challenge by Simeon Bailey and Rivaldo Coriat. Long throw. Looking for Perry. Nanton. It's Justin Sadu. Bit of a handball from Goddard, but play allowed to continue as Mitchell tries to thread the needle. And just too long in the end. Pick out his man, but he had the right idea. Trying to find Kadeem Hutchinson. Might be wearing a cool expression, but I can tell you there's anything but cool stuff happening in his head at the moment. Gonzalez tries to find Sam. Sadu could be in behind. Sam has an opportunity here. Ball.
Oh boy,
he's going to ground. And well, everyone held their breath in the police uniform.
I wasn't wearing a police uniform and I held my breath. I tell you, there was contact, James, for sure.
I can tell you who else is holding their breath. Atula Guerra, and maybe police fans as well, as Fonset tries to get jiggy. Coach is not impressed one bit though. Here's Nanton. Couldn't find Hutchinson, and that is a goal kick.
As we have another look at it here, a bit too calm there, coming out. I tell you, he did go down a bit early. Looked like he was more trying to sell it and initiate the contact rather than, of course, the contact being an errant one by the defender. I think it's the right call.
For the last match between these two, decided by a penalty kick. And same play involved as well, Kadian Gabriel.
Well, it's one of the rare occasions where we see this surface is as bumpy, is the word, than normal. It's normally very soft, moistured, saturated surface. But today, we've had a lot of sunshine over the last 2 days or so, and so the pitch itself, although it's been rolled a couple of times, it's still very firm. Well, a lot more firm than it has been in the past, that's for sure. And because of that, it's been a little bit difficult as it relates to controlling the football. As we take a look at it there, and you could see where the surface has been a lot firmer than the moist, muddy pitches that we've seen over the last couple of weeks.
Bailey. Nanton. Well, they're getting some passes together. Ball went right across the face of the goal. I'm sure Enel looked a bit surprised.
I think he was in two minds, James, whether to come or to stay on his line. He chose the latter, but of course, it still provided some anxious moments.
Still lots to play for in this match. Defence Force are currently in second, 38 points, just 1 point ahead of Police. Of course, win for draw for Defence Force enough to see them finish in second and potentially earn a spot in the Caribbean Ascension tournament. Brent Sam, of course, says the joint leading goal scorer does have an opportunity to pull ahead of Atula Guerra if he can get a goal in this fixture. Lots of battles, lots of storylines, and we're here to enjoy every moment of it. Of course, there's ego and pride.
And it's a derby as well, a closely contested one. But I think somewhere within both locker rooms is a genuine desire to finish ahead of the other. Talked about how close it is from a points perspective, just 1 point separate the two teams. There's a feeling there that a season can be defined tonight by where they finish on the table.
Well, I've never had the opportunity to play for either team, but I've heard urban legends about what happens if you lose to the other. Don't know how true they are.
It's a long jog to Tetron from here. I can tell you that.
Did play for one of the other service teams, Arima Fire. Quite different culture compared to these two. Well, this is an interesting formation in the area. Well, you got a head on this one, and somehow that was kept out. Jelani Felix appears to be the man who got the decisive touch. Well, caught sleeping defense force. Well, here comes police yet again. Dance class is in session. And, well, thought it might have been a corner, but offside as a flag did go up.
Well, he had a chance to put it in the box. Terry Bailey.
I'd love to have another look at that goal line bit of action.
Well, it was close. It was a good ball. It was a good delivery. But we talked about, James, the danger that police presents from set plays.
Sam can get ahead of Purcell. That's well defended. Oh, Sam could be through. The flag stays down. Brent Sam, and that's very well defended by Cadian Gabriel, who gets a loud cheer from the spectators closest to him. All police fans, I can guess. Well, if it's one person you don't want to give many chances to, it's that man, Brent Sam.
Gabriel did really well there. He anticipated that Sam would be in on goal, and he reacted. More importantly, he did have a lot of ground to make up to get into Sam's pathway. I thought Sam should have shown a little bit more conviction there, James. He was in on goal. I think the right touch towards goal would have set him up nicely in front of Fonset, but instead Gabriel intercepted there, like a good police officer would do.
Roadblock. Well, can he find a man in yellow? He's got 7 to aim at.
That's a good ball.
Oh, it's someone! He'd won that back. He certainly got in a great position there, Rodell Alcock.
That's a chance.
Oh, there's your friends. And they're well guarded too.
Well, it's the first time I've seen them not happy. Maybe the fact that their team's not playing in the second game. I'm not sure. Maybe our producers could send over some Sports Max goodie bags over there. Cheer up that crew.
Well, the most present, can tell you that much. Looking on in high definition. One of them, of course, the grandmother, Ross Russell Jr. and Ross Russell Sr. for that matter. Well, how was that not spotted? Or was it? Looked like a good goalkeeper there. Kadeem Hutchinson.
It's very congested in the middle of the park, and it's one of the main reasons why both teams have been so direct. See again, another turnover.
Well, here's Goddard. Felix. Another turnover. Elcock cleans up. Blackman. Well, to be fair, it hasn't been the smoothest game. Lots of turnovers by either team. Lots at stake in this contest. Cameron Purcell. Heavy touch. And well, Sadu just gives possession back to Police. Jabari Mitchell, that's a good tackle by Goddard. Keep an eye on this pair. Both played on the 20 football for Trinidad and Tobago in the same team. Know each other quite well. Sadu. Sadu finds some space. He's struggled when he's been closed on quickly. And it's away now with Gabriel. Handball maybe. Well, he's got to keep his eyes open here on Enel. Elijah Belgrave. Very good set piece taker. Gabriel Nanton has scored some good ones as well in this competition. And well, Jabari Mitchell, he's just class, isn't he? Roll of the dice maybe?
I think he's going to go for it. I'd be surprised if he doesn't. I've seen him scoring for that range before.
And it is Belgrave. Well closed down by Goddard, who anticipated well. Kept alive. Hutchinson. Good looking service, and well, did well to leave it alone, Rodell Elcock. Didn't look like he was too certain what was behind him. Made the right decision in the end.
It's a game that's lacked quality so far. And if I was the lawyer of both teams, I would suggest, James, that the middle of the park is very congested and they both want to play through the middle of the park. So it's led to this game being very scrappy at most parts. I think that was a convincing enough argument.
Well, not sure the neutrals will agree. Supporters of both teams might though. Still goalless after 20 minutes. It's good enough for everybody. Well, particular defense force who just need a point.
Well, to add to the point, we haven't seen any team thus far string together 5 passes. That tells you what we've seen. It's always important to mention that there is a lot at stake as it relates to both teams in the derby game and from a point perspective. But at the same point in time, maybe a little bit more composure and quality is needed.
Defense force usually employs a lot of wing play. Typically, they like to build up out of the back. Haven't really seen that approach from them today. It's Keaton Sinclair. Scrappy Edwards. All the way through to Adrian Fonset. I think what has happened, Brent, and perhaps you can confirm, Justin Sadu and Kevin Goddard haven't really been afforded much space when they have been in possession, and it has forced them into turnovers, which hasn't augured well for Defence Force and their possession type of game.
Well, for both teams, I would say, because both Bailey in the middle of the park and of course Nanton as well have been afforded the luxury of space as well. It has been congested when you look at the way both teams have set up. It's just not been a part of the pitch where there's much time and space.
Almost a bit of friendly fire there from Cameron Purcell. Not quite sure why he chose to play that ball back towards the corner flag. Now his team is under pressure. They've got to defend the throw. Well, Sam got a good head on. It's well defended by Belgrave. He's a big lad. That's a good turn. It's opened up some space. And he will win a foul. Chance to use their aerial prowess from this set piece. Off service just had to be better from Purcell. Hutchinson. Cabby. Well, won by Perry. Just scramble to clear this one. Ackley Edwards getting the final touch. I think it's fair to say the on-field football has lacked a bit of quality, but the atmosphere certainly hasn't. Oh, that's a good head on there, and wow, desperate defending. Tyrese Bailey looked in a really good position, and well, he's taken quite a knock. Rod Elcock.
And I'm looking at the body language, James, in the two dugouts, and there's even tension there. The coaches, of course, the support staff, and the substitutes. And if you were from Mars or Moon or not from anywhere in the sphere and you've just landed here in Trinidad, you would think that this is a finals. The atmosphere is very, very tense, and both teams have showed it so far.
That's good from Brent Sam. And well, cut out in the end, and the side netting comes to the rescue.
That is excellent recovery play by Bailey. James, I thought Sam was in. Just had to pull the trigger. Left Purcell for dead.
Well, that's how dangerous he is in the blink of an eye. Can get into really good positions. The fortunate police. Well, Sam could be in again here.
Oh,
and has been tripped.
Boy, this could be a red card. I believe it is. Has to be.
Well, he's been sent for an early shower, Raheem Kabi. And the tension has been broken. And they remand down the police. Not what the doctor ordered, but just the right ingredients of the Defence Force to get some sort of advantage in this match.
Well, it's a forward ball there. Good touch there by Sadu. He was caught on the other side of Sam, and the legs collided enough to convince the official to show a red card. It's harsh, but he's the last man, and no matter which way you look at this, I don't think there's much of a choice.
Well, Quincy Williams with a decision that could turn the tide of this match. Raheem Kabi has been sent for a shower. And it's an opportunity for the defense force to capitalize on the one goal or one man advantage that they have.
We talked about individual errors, and as it gets in there, Sadu with the touch. Yeah, once he's caught on the wrong side, Kabi, and really only has himself to blame there. Individual errors, James.
Well, the man who created the opportunity, Sadu, could change it. But look at this! That it says excellent from Jelani Felix. Michelangelo, Picasso. That is a work of art from the wing-back for the defense force. He's put them ahead. There's nothing Adrian Fonset could do about it. 1-0 to the defense force.
Well, it's a well-executed set piece by that man, Felix. Fonset thought he had it covered. Just suspected, James, it might have been the slightest of touch. I think when Fonset takes a look at that again, he'd be disappointed. Just feel that if he'd gone for it in a full dive, he may have gotten there. Game on.
Well, you have to make sure as a goalkeeper, he didn't. Felix made sure. The defense force lead.
It really came out of nothing. The free kick, that is. It was a probing ball forward by St. Hilaire and one defensive lapse by Kabi. That's really the difference in the scoreline.
Well, I'll rewind the tape on your memory. The last time these teams played, it was the other defender, Gideon Gabriel,
yeah,
who was sent off, and a penalty that changed the complexion of this match. And much of the same. And
you wonder if this is history repeating itself. Just feel that police have or has a lot to play for, and they're not going to go lying down, that's for sure.
Coriat trying to get St. Hilaire forward.
It's offside.
But Sam is showing from an offside position. But you can have all the plans in the world. When something like that happens, you've got to change your plans, and changes could be in the works for police. Kristen Thomas looks set to come in. What's the plan now for them?
Well, I've been in enough football games to tell you that a 10v11 game is not as straightforward as it suggests from a numerical perspective. Played in games where teams playing short-handed tend to play better. I've even seen and been part of games where a short-handed team has won. So as much as defense force may feel they have the advantage from a numbers perspective, certainly doesn't mean they have the advantage from a footballing perspective.
Well, Nanton appears to be the player that will be sacrificed, and Kristen Thomas comes in. So midfielder has been sacrificed for an additional body in defense.
I think that's a good move by Coach Hood. What he's saying is that this game is not over by any stretch of the imagination, because he's gone in and put... That's good football.
Coriat looking for room. Oh, well, the upright was not the friend of Jelani Felix this time. Oh, goodness me. Well, a man has been sent for drinks, though. Hutchinson would need some more of that from him and his team to get them back in the contest, but Jelani Felix, in the blink of an eye, could have been 2-0 up. Well, bring out the party tricks. Add Keita and St. Hilaire to the cast of spectacular moves in this match. Well, I just feel, Brent, that the game might just open up and As unfortunate as it might have been for police, it would have broken some of the tension that we saw earlier.
Yeah, you're right, and we talked about the congested middle of the park, and I was, of course, lamenting on the change that Coach Hood would have made. And I look at it as a positive. He didn't take a strike off. How many times we've seen in football where a team goes down to 10 men and the centre half is sent off, and of course an attacking play is taken off. What he's done is he's gone to a two-man midfield and left his attacking options intact. So they're still in this, police. The intent is certainly there.
Well, if there's one thing that police have been trained to do, it's to shoot. And they've been presented with an excellent shooting opportunity from a set piece. Would have seen Jelani Felix do it on one end. Certainly got the tools to do it on their end. Elijah Belgrave and Jabari Mitchell both standing over this one. Both have proven over years of successive action that they are excellent from this range. Here's Mitchell. And there's Superman. Well, this game has everything. Action, drama, excitement, and superheroes. Here's one of them. Well, the police will be looking for a warrant to penetrate the defense force rear guard. Paul came close this time. Knock, knock. They're going to try again from another corner.
Well, I just thought when it's left his foot here that was going goal bound. That man there, what a save. Cut across, airborne, full stretch. Picture perfect.
Well, who says all superheroes wear capes? Here comes another police assault.
That's a good ball.
Oh, inside and might have beaten Adel. Oh, and they have found what they were looking for. You can only keep out the police for so long, but they've gotten the warrant and they've made the arrest. Hutchinson pulling the police right back in this contest.
Well, we talked about the danger that police presents from set plays, particularly corners and balls coming into the box. That's a perfect example of it. As I said, this game...
Oh, look at this. Well, Brent Sam trying his luck. Almost got through as well. Could have been something if he got some joy from it. Well, I hope you're enjoying this match just as much as we are. Certainly has opened up after a quite cagey start. Wherever you're tuned in around the Caribbean or in North America, welcome to the Ascension tournament. This is what it's all about. Oh, this is dangerous looking. The police have woken up And that's a foul.
Well, they're flirting with danger, defense force. They're giving away set pieces in and around their area, in positions where police can not only deliver, James, but can execute and hurt you. They can't afford to do that. It takes that numerical advantage right out of the equation.
Well, here's another set piece. These have been exciting in this match. There's a man standing over it, capable of doing exciting things. Jabari Mitchell. And Enel comfortable in the end. But they've got to defend though. That's a great throw to Coriat, and Arcadian Gabriel showing a bit of quality. Did get a few caps with the Trinidad and Tobago national team, Arcadian Gabriel. And there's the goal scorer, Hutchinson, trying to get in behind. St. Hilaire. Goddard. More room than we've seen all 38 minutes that have gone. Had the advantage stolen from them, the defense force, and now, well, onset, ensuring that he keeps his team alive. Nice flow to the game.
Yeah, nice flow from a defense force perspective. That's what you want. You want to possess, not only just possess the ball, but have ambition. And certainly that was an ambitious move. Nice one-touch and wall passing. Eventually ended up with a Tame Felix effort, but from the wider perspective is what they want.
I've just got over 5 minutes remaining in the first half of this match. I think it's fair to say that certainly has lived up to the expectation, lofty expectation placed on these teams. It's a corner. What do you make of the police response?
It's been good. Just listening to the bench that's close to the commentary box here, and every set play is clapped like it's a goal by the coaches and substitutes, and that's the belief within the police squad when it comes to set plays. They do feel that they can hurt teams.
Well, they've got the big men. Cameron Purcell, the centre back, is up there. He scored 5 goals in the competition. 5 goals from set plays. Josima Belgrave is also there. Guess what he's good at?
It's a good ball.
Oh, he got a head on it though. Hutchinson is close to getting a second. Ball deflected. And how about that for recovery from Purcell? Getting back to defend. Coriat. Ackley Edwards. Good skill from Edwards. Goddard.
This is good by police. They're working exceedingly hard not to allow defense force with any time on the football.
Bailey. To Tyrese Bailey. Oh, that's well cut out. Excellent defending from Blackman. Here's Arcadian Gabriel. The goal scorer, Hutchinson. Look to drive at them. Space now.
It's got to finish.
Oh, that's a wonderful save from Enel. But he got lower than a limbo dancer there, Enel. Got down quickly, kept out the danger. Only 13 goals conceded by the defense force in the competition. He's been a big reason for that, Enel.
That's a second big save here. As we take another look at it, Hutchison slaloms into the box, finally gets a strike on it. Enel quick to the ground.
As a goalkeeper, what's more impressive is his recovery. Was quick to get back to his feet as well.
Well, some goalkeepers are very good positionally, and some goalkeepers are very good from a shot stopping perspective, and I think he's the latter. I think shot stopping, his agility and his reflexes and his quickness as well has been there to see.
Well, the defense force does have a tradition of producing top-class goalkeepers. Think of Russ Russell Sr.
Clayton
Ince, who is the police goalkeeping coach at the moment.
Hayden Thomas before that.
Hayden Thomas. Kevin Graham. There's been so many good goalkeepers that have come through the defense force. Traditionally, they've provided the lion's share of national goalkeepers. Well, this could open up something for St. Hilaire. Simeon Bailey. Well, police themselves, they've had some good goalkeepers over time. Think of Michael Maurice, former coach of mine. And they called Brow. If you're listening, good evening, sir. Well, we've seen two sides of the coin in this match. Pretty ugly side and the exciting, can't take your eyes off your screen side of the game. There's Caton St. Hilaire. Former TNT Youth International, can't find space though. Passes former teammate Jabari Mitchell.
He's going to have his hands full. St. Hilaire trying to get past Keaton Gabriel. He's certainly street smart.
He's a big man as well. We spoke about the aerial prowess of police. They've got some big guys of their own in defense force. That man knows more than anybody. Coach of a team, Lloyd Andrews. Is there something before halftime? Oh, that ball was allowed to get a long way inside the defensive area. Not quite sure that the defenders offered the kind of protection that Onset would have looked for.
Well, there's an old proverb in football where the team is good offensively and set plays, supposed to be good defensively and set plays. A la Burnley, Stoke, to name a few. But in that instance there, they certainly didn't drape themselves in glory.
Well, we've gone past the 45 minutes. I'm sure you might have noticed. Can't take your eyes off the action, can you? Just 1 minute to be added on. Almost at the end of that. Maybe Sado and company can conjure up something. Coriat. Should be the final bit of action. Quincy Williams confirms. What a match. It's a match that has seesawed. Frustration for Brent Sam though. Tied with Atula Guerra as the golden boot at the moment. He'd look to, or we're hoping to pull ahead. At the moment he can't. Neither can his team. They're level. Defense Force 1, Police 1. It's time to take a pause, and when we come back, we've got the first half highlights.
Frame Maritime Limited, the best in marina services. At our facilities, security checks ensures that all vehicles are secured. Our newly renovated bathrooms are always kept in a clean working order. Need repairs and maintenance? We have you covered. Our qualified workmen will get the job done. Boat storages, from our marina, you can easily push off for a family sailing trip. Out fishing with the boys. Or a fun DDI experience with friends. Repairs, secured parking, extensive camera system, boat charters, boat rentals, down the island parties. Contact us at 1-868-634-1653. Lasso Frame Maritime Limited, the best in marina services. Life's better on a boat.
Well, like a good soup, this match had everything. Police 1, Defense Force 1 after 45 minutes. And the good thing, we've got 45 more minutes to go. Well, let's take a look back at what we missed in the preceding half. Quincy Williams in charge of this one. And the cagey affair started with Fonset keeping a clean sheet. Jabari Mitchell, he kept them honest on the opposite end, and well, Felix had to be clever up the line. That kept Defense Force alive. They would come close on several opportunities. Both teams, nobody giving away anything. Then the nerves were rattled. The first time ball by Sadu, and Kabi couldn't keep up with Sam. He had to take a shower. End of his match. But look at this. Magic. A la peanut butter jelly sandwiches. Jelani Felix getting the opener for the Defense Force. And just like that, the Tetron boys pulled ahead. 1-0. But just as you thought the momentum would have gone in favor of the Soldiers, look at this. Jabari Mitchell, on the other hand, forcing Enel into superhero type action. And that was just the start of intention and things to come, because Mitchell's resulting corner produced that. And it was Hutchinson. Well, like the scavenger, cleaning up inside the area. And that leveled the scores at 1 apiece. Police right back in the action. And after that, it was a good old-fashioned fist fight between these two. Onset had to literally get his gloves in the way to keep stuff up. But at halftime, it's a level contest. A nice canvas moving into the second half. Let's see what the numbers say though.
Well, in the shots department, 8 for police, 5 for defense force, 8 police shots, 5 of those were on target. 1 of the 5 defense force shots was on target. 8 fouls in total, 5 for police, 3 for defense force. 1 card and a significant one, a red card. And of course, the rest of the stats, offside, corners and saves are quite close. Although on the saves department, 5 from defense force, which show the type of impact, of course, police would have had in this game.
Well, this match certainly had action. Last week certainly had more action. And there was one man that stood head and shoulders above everybody. He's our Campari Player of the Week. And, well, he resembles the Afrobeats artist, Burna Boy. And he's certainly burning holes in the net. Last week, in fact, he scored 2 goals. Cedale McLean for AC Port of Spain, pulling a match away from Kunupia FC. And, well, for his phenomenal performance, Cedale McLean is our Campari Player of the Week. $500. Well, lots you can buy with that, despite inflation, and he receives a handshake and lots of money. All right, let's take a pause. The Ascension Angels, they're dancing up a storm at the moment. And before that, though, let's take a look back at some of the actions that we would have missed last week. But of course, Brent, before we even get into that, though, this match. Talk me through this match. What happened in this game?
Well, it's been a slow burner at the start of it, and the fire certainly turned up on it. And of course, from a neutral perspective, you would have enjoyed it. It had everything: great saves, good goals, a red card, and of course, more importantly, both teams are even and still a lot to play for, which brings a high level of anticipation as the second half is only shortly away.
All right, well, let's take a breath from this week and look back at some of the action from last week. Saturday and Sunday led up to this at the Arena Velodrome. Central Soccer World, they take on Real Westport, the team from the capital. And early on, Westport had opportunities and goals. Keston BB Cummings opening the scoring for them. Then Central Soccer World got the equalizer. Moses parted the Red Sea, and Moses Jaikaran parted the blue defense. 1-1. Then there was more from Central Soccer World. They went into another gear. Keelan Burnett, he's been on a red-hot streak recently. Well, he's good at shooting as well. And they would get a third to pull away from Westport. Kevon Williams getting a very decisive goal. And that time they led 3-1. Then look at this. Poor positioning, good touch, and they all combined for Malik Kwao to get goal number 4 for Central Soccer World. And then some karate action. Well, friendly fire as well. 4-1, they ended it. Defense Force, they needed to win to stay alive. They came up against Central FC, and they were taking no prisoners. Keaton Sinclair left his man for dead. He'd need new ankles, and they need a new net because busted a hole in the side netting. 1-0 to the Defense Force. Then Sinclair, red hot in terms of form. Sadhu. Chances. Sadhu was quite instrumental in this match and showed that he can hit the target just as well as he can supply goals, getting the second for Defense Force. Brent Sam, the competition's leading goal scorer, tried to extend his lead. He couldn't, but I can tell you who can. Justin Garcia, the defender. Yeah, he got a goal. 3-0 to the Defense Force, and they wanted more. Rian Moore, well, quite literally, got more from more. And that was 4-0, all she wrote to the Defense Force. On Sunday, Police under pressure to keep abreast. They came up against Maruga. Maruga fresh off their first win of the competition. And the boys from Deep South, well, they took advantage of some crossed wires for Kerbel Turner to score the opening goal of the match against Police. But the lawmen, well, they took the law into their own hands And they got an equalizer. Jamil Perry, that's what he's been brought back to the team to do. Score goals, and he's been doing it quite well. And it pull ahead because of that man again, Jamil Perry. Crucial goal for him. Getting a good touch in the area. Nothing the goalkeeper could do. 2-1 the score. And then, well, that's just bullying. Juma Clarence using all of his strength to get past the defense and blast one into the net. 3-1. Mitchell, he's at the heart of everything good for police, isn't he? Supplying the service. And Christian Thomas tipping with a goal. Was there to be more? Of course, Mitchell is going to be involved. What an excellent service yet again. And Juma Clarence got his second of the match. By that time, it was an onslaught with some finesse. Kevin Lewis getting in on the class act, pulling out the party tricks. Maruga, though, not to be intimidated. They would get a second. Not taking no for an answer. A resilient people, Maruga. And more goals for them. What a match, and police remained in second after that one. Well, at the moment they're second best because Defence Force still leads on point if the score remains as is. They're going to have fun. We're going to take a break. 1-1 the score, 45 minutes still to play. See you in a bit.
Amante Del Cafe is located at Magnificent Mall, number 271 Southern Main Road, McBean, Couva. Amante Del Cafe. Happiness begins with brew.
The situation we have here is that these characters, and I refer to them as pests, right? What they are doing is destroying our country, but not on my watch.
While the King have already been crowned, first place already belongs to the home team Terminix La Hocketa Rangers. but it's the rest of the hierarchy that is yet to be filled. Shiny objects up for grabs, and of course lots of cash prizes as well. The Defense Force and Police, they will be vying for that. This is the PS Classico, Protective Service Classico, and second place, just 1 point separating these teams. Defense Force, with the 1-1 result, will be able to hold on to second place. Police, down to 10 men, they will be digging deep to cause an upset and go against the green. This is the Ascension Football Tournament. Lots of changes have been made to the cast as the second half resumes. And well, they've gone for the old experienced campaigner, Ryan Moore. And he will replace Keaton St-Hilaire in the lineup for the Defense Force. So that's the main change for Defense Force. More changes will be had, and we will be keeping you abreast of all of them as the second half unfolds. For now, 44 and some minutes remain, and well, we're having fun. It's Friday night, the final match of the Ascension tournament for both teams, and we've already witnessed a treat. Expect more. Alcock. Curtis Gonzalez. Goddard. He's really adapted to life well as a central defender. Curtis Gonzalez started his career as a tough tackling defensive midfielder. He's first really used as a centre-back by former national coach Dennis Lawrence, and he's since adapted quite well. He's been used there because of his outstanding ability to play with his feet. And well, he's taken to the role quite nicely, hasn't he?
Well, he reads the game very well. He's always in the right position. Very rarely you see him beaten, whether it be pace or otherwise. And that's a trait that you have in modern day centre halves. As you rightfully said, the centre half has to be good with his feet, because he's expected to, of course, start the build-up phase for his team from the back, and he's done that for Defense Force. He's done well with his passes coming out.
Kevon Goddard is called up by Angus Eve for the last Nations League encounter with the Trinidad and Tobago national team. Cadian Gabriel, though, will start the attack for Police. Oh, he's going a lot way forward. Mitchell. Gabriel continues. Did start his career as a centre forward, the man known as Drogba. He's gone a long way forward, but he'll have to get back to defend. Oh, it's not that easy getting around Ryan Moore. He's a big guy. Ryan Moore did become an overnight sensation for Trinidad and Tobago football when he scored on debut. Remember that match?
In the Gold Cup, of course. He's really moved on since then in terms of his performances. Have been good, solid. Certainly one of the more difficult propositions defensively when you look at what he does when he has it, and especially when he's in full flight. James, I don't think there's many defenders in this tournament can put their hand up and say they stopped him.
He's got 9 goals in the competition. He's only been bested by Brent Sam, who's a joint competition top scorer, and Jamil Boatswain, who scored 11. And they've both been quite excellent. Not a bad crew to be bested by. Oh, there was Sam.
There's a loud shout as well. Well, he's offside, doesn't matter.
It's had a frustrating evening, Brent Sam. You can tell he's really trying to get that goal that would take him past the Tulagera as he clear leader in the Golden Boot race.
Well, he does play as that sole forward and most advanced player for Defence Force. I just wonder, James, if he's paired up as a tandem, if it would suit him better, because he does win his fair share of aerial battles, but you just feel that when he does, there's no one around him. There's flankers on either side of that's high.
Yeah, that's a prayer that will not be answered.
There are flankers on both sides of him in Felix and Saint Hilaire. Of course, in this stage of it, it's real more. But you just wonder if they brought someone to tandem him, almost as a two-striker, if it would suit him more.
Yeah, sort of a second striker almost.
Yeah, well, they have Koyat and Sadu playing advance as an 8 and a 10, but they're just not close enough to him. It's a big difference when you have advanced midfielders and you have an out-and-out striker.
You think almost of a Lautaro Martinez and Lukaku. Yeah.
Yeah, you're correct.
Goddard. Moore gets his first offensive touch. Oh, looking for Sadu. That's well cut out by Belgrade. Looking for Koryat. But I think Kaden Gabriel has had a pretty solid game defensively for Police.
Yeah, he's been outstanding. When you look back at that goal-scoring save that he made when Sam was through on goal, and his constant challenges he's done, and of course his work rate. He's been the pick of the litter when it comes to Police.
Well, they've got to defend now. The Army surrounding the camp, and they're looking for Sam, and well, just following Purcell there. I think he's going to get a bit of a warning though from the referee Quincy Williams. He's just trying to assess the damage done to Purcell before issuing his disciplinary measures, and he's decided that a stern talking to is enough. So we welcome you wherever you tuned in across the region. Sportsmax across the Caribbean, Scene TV in North America and Canada, and of course CCN TV6 in Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome to the La Hoqueta Recreation Ground, the Ascension tournament. Of course, all the folks locked in the sister Isle of Tobago. Big weekend in Tobago, great fete weekend, I believe. Saw Spice touched down yesterday, the Jamaican dancehall star. Skilly Bang and King, I think, are supposed to be there as well.
Well, I would tell you this, James, I've put my call in to have you as part of the cast. I'm very sure that the entire production team at Sportsmax will find their way over there. And I know the producer has made a couple calls, so be on the lookout, James. You may get that call. There's no booking fees attached to it, by the way.
Is that so? Got to color my hair though. So Spice with a green hairstyle. Jamaican ladies and their hairstyles, I remember. Shelly-Ann Thompson Hera, or Elaine Thompson Hera, and Shelly-Ann Fraser Price. Yeah, they love to color their hair. Good evening to all Jamaican listeners and viewers. Just love Jamaicans here, colorful people. Can't wait for the Caribbean Ascension tournament, which is slated for later this year. The likes of Harbour View coming to Trinidad and Tobago. There's also a lot of action sporting-wise taking place. Commonwealth Games in action kicked off yesterday. Grand opening ceremony. Maybe a chance for Trinidad and Tobago to finally get some medals.
Fingers crossed there. Of course, good friend Alan Roberts is over in Jamaica, giving his expertise in sports on the Commonwealth Games. Of course, Davis Cup coming up soon.
Yeah, tennis.
Tennis as well.
Always enjoy that.
And of course, SSFL, Jamaica Schoolboy, football, sports, beginning in September.
Let's make a treat. I'm going to go to Jamaica. Keep me in Moby, Doctor's Cave. Maybe you can host me in Negril, and I'll do Jamaica schoolboy football for free.
You don't come out the cave. When you look back at this tournament, James, and what it's meant for football here in Trinidad and Tobago, you have to tip your hat to the organizers of Ascension. And we've listened to some of the coaches, of course, the director of the tournament, underline the importance of television, live television, to football. And if there ever was an argument, I think this tournament has certainly pointed as to the importance of it.
Well, this is something out of nothing. I'm not sure he intended it, but it certainly raised some hairs on the back of the goalkeeper's neck.
They've got to deal with it. They've not dealt with it. What?
Well, Justin Garcia had to be very inventive to clear that danger. Oh, they've been scrappy. Here's Bailey to Mitchell. And well, he needs a new compass. Just couldn't get his directions right. But I just feel like after that halftime talk, they've gone back into their shells, these teams. Wonder what might have been said at halftime.
I think discipline. From a formation perspective, that is.
Here's the goal scorer, Felix Coriat. Well, they can push forward the space provided here. Hutchinson. The game certainly is a bit stretched at the moment. So Jelani Felix scored the game-opening goal for Defense Force, and the equalizer for Police came courtesy Kadeem Hutchinson. Moment, 1-1. Defense Force, of course, just need a point to finish second.
Offside. I think if he'd left it for Bailey, who was making the run, Perry, the one that was called offside, I think if he'd left it, he'd gotten a bit more joy. Oh, that's late.
Well, Felix escaped. One good service in the area, and that's good from the goalkeeper. Fonset was alert. It's Tyrese Bailey. Goodwin, Elcock. Brent Sam. Well, using his body strength to good effect against another big man, Brent Sam. That's quite an interesting battle between Sam and Cameron Purcell. Both these teams, of course, with quite a storied history in Trinidad and Tobago football. Officially, Police FC have been around since 1975, 47 years old. Defense Force, of course, founded in 1974, a year earlier. Officially, that is. Two of the oldest football teams in Trinidad and Tobago. Defense Force, however, have been the more successful of the teams. In fact, they are the most successful football club in Trinidad and Tobago with 20 national championships, 15 titles between 1974 to 1995, 2 titles in the semi-pro era, and of course 3 TT Pro League titles. They've been around a long time. They've got lots of history.
I'm sure there's a CONCACAF club championship somewhere there.
Yeah, in fact, they've won 2 titles. Only club from Trinidad and Tobago or the Caribbean to win the CONCACAF Champions League, 2 titles, 1978 and 1985. In fact, one man who's was part of that winning squad, CONCACAF winning squad, is the assistant coach Hudson Charles. He's on the bench this evening. All right, more changes. They're gonna shuffle the deck a bit more, and it's Ackley Edwards who will say sayonara. Dylan King is set to come in. And Bertrand will replace Justin Sadu. So confirmation of those changes. All on the Police end, they've decided to shake things up themselves, not to be left alone. Joel Lewis is one of the players lining up to come in, and Juma Clarence, who scored a double last weekend, is also set to come in. They're looking at the offensive aspect of things.
They need a result, and it's the reason why their tactical approach has been in the front foot, and even their substitutions, despite being down to 10 men, has been in the front foot as well, meaning that they're thinking more offensively than defensively. They're not trying to shut up shop and walk away with that 1 point. It's not good enough for them. They need all 3.
So the goal scorer has been replaced. Hutchinson and Joey Lewis, man with the famous name, has come in, while Perry has been replaced by Juma Clarence. Perry scored a double last week, and he's been replaced by another man who scored a double last week in Juma Clarence, the former St. Anthony's man. So we've gone past the hour mark. Still level at 1 goal apiece. Of course, the Ascension tournament continues this weekend. The final weekend of the competition. Tomorrow at the Arima Velodrome. In fact, those games have been brought forward to right here in La Horta. Maruga FC will take on AC Port of Spain, while Deportivo Point Fortin will take on Real Westport. And on Sunday, Central FC will play against Central Soccer World in a Central derby. Certainly a wonderful atmosphere here in the last Friday evening fixture of the Ascension tournament. Many of the crowd are, of course, it's a full house. Many coming in, of course, because of the football action, but also because of the live entertainment package that has been added. I think Trinidad Killer is here this evening. But here's a chance now. They're feeling for a handball, and the referee believes that it's a corner.
Well, his hand's on his side. was it's not extended from his body. Certainly didn't try to make himself bigger. That's what you call hands in a natural position.
I'm confused. The handball load seems to change every Monday morning.
It's not a topic I think we should go into on air. It's going to probably take us a couple more Ascension tournaments to explain.
Oh, can Defense Force conjure up something here?
It's a good flick.
Oh, chance opening up here. Oh, they've got it. And it's that man, Brent Sam. He is the stuff of nightmares. He is the legend that they speak about. He's the man that gets the job done. And he's done it. Goal number 16 for him in the competition. And more importantly, Defense Force lead by 2-1.
Well, the ball is floated in. That man, Justin Garcia, does ever so well to get a touch on it. Right here. Eventually the ball falls to Sam, who makes absolutely no mistake. And why would he? He is the tournament top goal scorer. And he has 15 reasons and 15 goals to show, and now makes it 16. That's a good finish. Poacher's finish. Does Police have another gear?
Oh, Bailey seems to think he does. Oh, that's good. Oh, he's kept his balance well. Can he keep possession?
Oh, that's naughty. That's very naughty. I think that's a red card.
Oh,
Not
goodness.
surprised.
Well, it's a level game. Radel Elcock has been sent to the stands, and, well, we've seen this before. We've seen this story before. Both teams are down to 10. Police are in with a shout. He can complain all he'd like, but Quincy Williams has his mind made up. And I think it's a fair game at the moment.
It's a fair game. And of course, as much as it could be considered a debatable call, as we take another look at it here, look at the extended foot right there. You just can't do that, can you? But I wonder if it was a follow-through action. I'm sure Elcock would say that was in the process of the follow-through. Bailey certainly made a meal of it.
Well, can they take advantage?
That's a good ball. Well defended by who else?
Louisel was so
Sam.
close to getting on the end of that one. It's a tough call, but it's a call that Quincy Williams seems to think he was absolutely right about. I'm no referee. It is what it is. What do you think was the key determining factor in making that goal?
I think when you look at it, he did have a prolonged extension of the leg, and of course his foot going out for that long of a period of time, so it could be and when you look at it here, James, his leg is lingering in the air. It looks like a second motion to make a stamp, and then there was a shove. And when you look at the position in there of the referee, he had the best view in the house.
Well, Wendell Joseph, former Naparima College centre-back, was likened to the likes of the great German Franz Beckenbauer in his day. Nowhere close, of course, to Beckenbauer, but his play style. Certainly a good player back in his time. Well, Coriat seems to be okay. He's back on his feet. Oh, there we go. Hudson Charles, the Defense Force assistant coach. He was a former national coach, and he was part of a squad that last won the CONCACAF Champions League for Defense Force. Also scored an equalizer against Honduras to take Trinidad and Tobago into the X back in 1988. Such an important figure in Trinidad and Tobago football, Hudson Charles, also known as Baba.
Easily up there in top 10 midfielders produced by Trinidad and Tobago.
Doesn't seem to age either. He's looked the same way since I've known him, and known him since I was a boy. Tyrese Bailey won a foul and a red card. Well, more changes to be had. Doesn't seem like Ronaldo Coriat has shrugged off the last injury that he got, so he will be replaced. And well, Shaquille Bertrand is set to come in.
He's done well tonight.
As well as Kasim Keller.
Coriat has done really well tonight. Former St. Augustine senior comprehensive player in the SSFL. So it was good to see those young men progress through the footballing pyramid here in Trinidad. Of course, we cover SSFL football here in Sportsmax proudly. Seen some tremendous talent come through the ranks, and some of the talent that we've seen at the SSFL here in the Ascension. Che Benny is another one. Riley.
Mark Ramdeen.
Recent stars, of course, of the SSFL.
Yeah. Even look at Johannes Richardson, who plays with Terminex Rangers.
Junior soon as well.
Correct.
What's amazing is that there are even kids in this tournament that could possibly play in the SSFL. Real Gill, Emmanuel Thomas.
Yeah.
They are of age.
Well, the interesting thing about Real Gill is that he was part of the St. Anthony's team, of course, himself and Kyle Thomas. And, well, wasn't a first 11 player back in his time.
Well, I think he's past that stage now. And let's just say I think he's moved on to bigger and better things. I do think, James, it'd be a travesty to see any of those youngsters go back into the SSFL, all due respect to that league. And I think now that they're playing senior level football, that's where they need to continue their development.
Well, I can't agree more. Well, police need some answers, but they've got to provide the probing questions that can be answered. All right, we've got some more changes as well in the police roster, and Kareem Freitas, a striker, has been sent in.
Well, they've gone for broke, James. They're playing with 3 out-and-out strikers: Thomas, Clarence, and of course that special number 10. Freitas.
Well, Mitchell could be key to everything, but not this time. It's not often that you see a substitute being substituted. Christian Thomas did come on as a substitute. And well, he's been substituted.
I would think it's more of a need, one of necessity, and maybe not performance. As it stands right now, Police needs a win, so that means they need 2 goals. This is not looking good for them.
Well, they're fortunate that, well, you couldn't find his coordinates there, Dylan King. He's been sent on to secure the match. Didn't do it that time. But what about this man, Brent Sam? His goal has his team leading by 2-1 at the moment.
Of course, at the end.
Yeah, that's not going to win you matches, particularly when you're trailing. Oh, forgive me, Christian Thomas is in fact still on the field. Continues to service the low men. Dedication. Ball, Miami, they want blood. Can they close it off? Here's King.
It's a foul.
Yeah, you ran into a roadblock there. Roadblock called Purcell. Never gonna get past him. At least not legally. They do have a chance though from a free kick. And they've got suitors lining up to take it. Brent Sam among them. Felix, he's already scored 1 free kick in this match.
This is good distance for him. Enough real estate to get that ball up and down.
Dylan King also seems to want a bite of this cherry. Is this going to be the moment to seal the match for the defense force? Well, I got as excited as anybody. Looked to be settling into the back of the net. It's just a mirage though. He's good though.
Well, I thought it was in, to be honest with you, James.
Either way, Fonset seemed beaten.
Well, as you take a next look at it here, it gets over the wall. And where did that pass? This is a good angle at it here as well.
Yeah, I was fooled.
You'd have to feel, James, if Police had to get themselves back into it, they need a goal right now.
Well, must have heard you. They're getting close. If anybody can get them back in, Jabari Mitchell can. Bit flat-footed from Thomas, but he keeps it alive. Hull went over like a man, shot to the stomach. Brent Sam. It continues though. Well, sometimes you think that the big guys are the toughest. That's not always the case. If I had a superpower, it would be mind reading. I'd love to get into his mind. Always looks or seems to have a lot going on in there.
Seems like it's attack. That's what's on his mind. They need 2 goals.
What about him?
He's thinking defend. But he's set them up right, I think, particularly in his second half. As I said before, it's never easy playing against 10 men. It hasn't been the greatest or vintage performance by Defence Force, but it has been resolute and, more importantly, efficient.
Here comes the police. Well, Joey Lewis certainly isn't too happy with that decision. Is there something more for the Defence Force inside the final 10 minutes of the match? Oh, that's good from Sam. Touch too heavy in the end. Just feel it's now or never for the police.
Well, they've made all the correct changes, both from a personal perspective and a tactical perspective. I think where they've fallen short, again, is in the execution side of things. And we did talk, James, at the start of this game about individual errors and the impact it would have in this game. When you go back to Scrappy, red card, caught on the wrong side of Sam, that's an individual error. And of course, when you look at both set plays that scored, in terms of the corner for police and the corner for Defence Force, again, falling asleep.
Well, can he get on the right side of the defender? Oh, not this time. Or maybe no. Sam. More chances of Defence Force. Sam can't get around this man. Godard recycles possession.
That's a good ball.
All away by Purcell. The second bite though. Chance to pick out Sam in the area. And well, he's in the end for fun set. Mitchell. Oh, ran into traffic there. Almost had his grill taken off. If you were police in this position, what will be the next move?
Well, they've down to 10 men. They've already thrown a lot of great jerseys forward and thrown caution to the wind. Show what much more they can do. That's good again by Gabriel. That's outstanding defending. And they just need to get more balls into that area, up to the numbers that they have up front. And errant passes like that don't help.
Sam to Bertrand. The door is opening up. Sam! What a save from Ponset. On the Defence Force bench, they were ready to celebrate, but Fonset had other ideas. Can Bertrand provide some more entertainment for the Tetron Boys fans?
You have to wonder how that didn't go in.
Oh, the upright. Let's start there. And then Fonset. Well, they have a chance now with King. Not quite committing as many bodies forward. Easily dealt with by police.
That's a foul.
Wow, that's a mob. Certainly didn't give Freitas any room to do anything. Now or never for the Lawmen.
That's a good ball.
In a great area!
He's got to score.
Wow.
He's got to score, James. I think he had enough time to take it on his chest and have a strike and goal, or maybe head it back across. And I think out of all the options, we have chosen the worst one.
Well, one man that you expect to go to in crunch situations is Elijah Belgrave. Not this time. Well, Defense Force with this current result will hold on to second place. It would push them 4 points ahead of Police. Here's Bertrand. He's won a corner. All right, you know what time it is? It's time for our Sportsmax app moment. And Shaquille Bertrand and Brent Sam trying to huff and puff, but they couldn't blow that little piggy down. Adrian Fonset. He's our Sportsmax app moment. Oh, this man has been impressive today. Felix. Can he be the man to seal the fate of the policemen? Not this time. Oh. Certainly almost used up all of their ammunition, Police. Still can't hit the target.
He's done well since he's come on, Garcia.
Certainly has.
Don't remember him losing anything in the air. That's poor.
Well, look at the position of Rayon Mordo. The striker. Look where he is.
He's gone back into that right back position since they've scored their goal. That's a foul.
Oh, this is an area that you don't want to commit fouls, particularly when Jabari Mitchell is on the field. And Curtis Gonzalez earns himself a caution. It's the final minute of the match. This is the stuff that creates legends. Clutch moment of the match. Jabari Mitchell in a potential goal-scoring position.
It's about individual brilliance. It's a tough angle though, James. I'd be very surprised if he went to goal from here, especially with how impactful Police have been from these sorts of areas, balls into the box.
Is this a moment of brilliance for police that can give them a lifeline? Well, it's not to be. Well, they're certainly putting their bodies on the line. 4 minutes have been added. They've got some time now. If they can keep this man out. Bertrand, easy peasy. The touch is heavy, and front set is alert. But he can't get it better than that, Dylan King. And NL will be all too happy to run the clock down. Might argue the pass from Bertrand was a bit stiff, but you still feel that in a position like that, you expect better from Dylan King. Taking no prisoners.
Garcia again.
Now there's a man down, just out of your screen. That's the reason for the pause in the action. It's Brent Sam, no surprise.
He's pulling a shift.
What has been your biggest takeaway from the Ascension tournament? We see large crowds coming out.
That's it right there. Talk about picture perfect. To set up the words that are about to be expressed is right there. The crowd, community spirit, of course, and the atmosphere. It's been a while since we've experienced this sort of atmosphere in football in Trinidad and Tobago. It's just been electric in every aspect. The games on the pitch, and of course the entertainment afterwards, all of course within a very festive atmosphere.
It's a roll of the dice for police. And Acadian Gabriel guilty of some police brutality. Well, they're certainly getting chances in the closing minutes. 30 seconds remaining in this contest. Maybe not enough to get them into second. They need 2 goals. Oh, there's Duckman. He's the famous man who dresses in the duck suits in cricket matches. He's a local comedian as well. They all seem to be comedians, all of the characters.
I don't think I've ever seen him support a particular team. I know he supports the winning team every time.
Well, Jabari Mitchell has another opportunity to perhaps write his name in the history of this tournament.
He's going for goal.
Will this be his moment? It is! Oh, the upright says no. Had the right intention. Sometimes that's just how the story goes. And there goes the whistle Quincy Williams has seen enough. Not sure the fans have, though. An entertaining match has come to an end. And it is the team in yellow, the Defense Force, who held their nerves the longest as they hold on. Brent Sam undoubtedly will take the golden boot. 16 goals in the competition. Getting goal number 16 this evening. But more importantly, he might just have secured his team a spot in the Caribbean Ascension tournament, which is slated to take place later this year, featuring the best teams from the Caribbean. It was a Clasico, a derby, lived up to its billing, had everything. Let's take a look back at some of the moments that caught our attention. And, well, Jelani Felix right off the bat, scoring a free kick. And that's where the game really swung early on. Well, he might be the one receiving kisses rather than sending them out later after that. And then later, Hutchinson doing the cleanup job inside the area to pull police back in the contest. But later on, there will be more drama because the Defense Force are relentless. And when everybody misses, Brent Sam doesn't. Goal number 16 for him in the competition. And a decisive goal for the Defense Force. And one that gave them the edge that they would hold on to for the remainder of the match. Late drama in the match as that man, Radell Alcock, well, he saw red. Straight red from Quincy Williams. Duckman says to go. And well, Defense Force certainly threatened to add some more insult to injury after that. Ooh, whiskers away. Did have chances, but concept really kept the lawmen into the game. Police looking for a last gap opportunity to pull themselves back, but it just wasn't to be. Some more bad boy behavior and bad luck as they eventually was subdued by the more potent Defense Force, who took the match by 2-1. Well, we saw the pictures on the screen. Let's see what the numbers say. And pretty even. Exactly what you expect from a Clasico. 11 shots to 12. Look at the shots on target. Quite even as well. Fouls, even. Yellow cards, even. Red cards, even. Offsides, pretty even. And corners is where it might have gotten skewed, but this match was down to the middle. Was certainly an entertaining one for all of the neutrals looking at the numbers. And in the end, though, what wasn't even was the final score. 2 goals to Defense Force, 1 to Police. And Brent Sancho is standing by with the man of the match, one of the men responsible for making the end result possible.
Well, I'm now joined by man of the match, Kevon Goddard of Defense Force. Of course, Kevon, a difficult encounter, 2 red cards, a 2-1 scoreline in your favor. How do you assess Defense Force performance here tonight?
Well, overall, I'm satisfied with the performance tonight. We really work hard. It was a really tough contest. Police really come out and fight against us, and good effort from Police, and I think it was a good performance overall.
What did you think you guys did differently in this encounter to be able to get the result for Defense Force?
I think what we did this encounter is we stay together as a team, we stay solid defensively, we stay focused throughout the game, and we see how the 2-1 win.
Well, of course, it has been an entertaining tournament for yourself personally, back onto the national team. Give us a quick assessment of your performance throughout the Ascension tournament.
Well, I'm quite satisfied with my performance throughout the tournament. Although I'm never satisfied with the amount of work I do, I think there's always more work to be done. There's always more to be done to better my performances, and yeah.
Well, we have an athlete of Sportsmax that is going to marketing manager at Sportsmax that's going to add to your MVP trophy, and of course a Sportsmax goodie bag provided to the man of the match, Kevin Goddard, for his tiger-like performance in the middle for Defense Force. Happy man with his personal performance throughout the tournament. Happy man with his performance here today. And the main ingredient, of course, in the Defense Force win tonight. A very important win for them, which of course put them into second place. But I'm now joined by the head coach of Police FC, Coach Richard Hood. Coach, what did it go wrong for you tonight?
It's a difficult one to assess, really. I thought that we started the game kind of nervously, actually, and it took a while to get into it. For me, I'm really not happy at all with the goals that we conceded. I didn't think that it's not the kind of goals that you expect to get, you know. It just wasn't to be, I guess, at the end of the day.
At 2-1 down, of course, a bevy of changes, more attacking type changes. Did you still feel Police had a chance to at least nick a point?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think we were creating opportunities, right? We just didn't take them, right? Throughout the game, actually. So, again, I would say it just wasn't to be.
Well, of course, Coach, an unfortunate defeat here for you tonight. Keeps you in third place, but still, congratulations on your team's performance throughout the tournament.
Yeah, thank you very much, Brent. Yeah.
Coach Richard Hood, a valiant attempt by Police FC. Despite going down to 10 men, still able, of course, to put in that type of performance that you expect in a derby-type competition. Of course, I'm joined by the winning coach of Defense Force. Coach?
Yes, sir.
Elated?
Of course.
Of course, you know it's always good to get over your opponent in this derby fixture. What do you think was the main reason for Defense Force to get all 3 points here tonight?
The determination to continually do the same thing over and over again, and we get the result.
In terms of moments in the game, is there a particular moment throughout this 90-plus minute that you think really flipped the game into Defense Force direction?
When the second goal scored, it was like, yes, it's a short time again. And it did happen that way. Short time after, the referee say, hey, that's it. I want to congratulate everybody, you know. I want to congratulate all the guys. I think they did a wonderful job. The staff, Mr. Elcock, Baba Charles, my good friend. I think we all did a wonderful job, man.
Well, of course.
And you too, you understand, for keeping us busy after each game.
Well, of course, congratulations on your second place in the Ascension tournament, and all the best.
Thank you very much.
And your team.
Okay,
of course, elated coach. And, of course, joined here. I'm now joined by the player of the tournament, Kadeem Corbin. Kadeem, an outstanding tournament for yourself. Good returns in the goals department. What sticks out in your memory in this Ascension tournament?
Well, to be real, I just send a message, and I just hope the right ears get it.
Well, I think I know where you're heading with that. And to elaborate a bit further, your performances do warrant a national team comment. I think you do feel that way personally. But putting that aside, as it relates to some of the things you would have worked on in the off-season coming into this, what in particular did you work on to make sure that you were sharp enough to score the type of goals that you've scored in this tournament?
Well, first of all, coming up, I was really working on getting it in the back of the net. And as you could see, the tournament come by and I keep on getting it, and it come like art.
Well, of course, when you talk about your bevy of goals, which one stands out in your memory?
Well, a lot of people say they want to score against Central when I pull up my pants and score, but I will say tonight. Tonight goal, the first one, I love that one.
Well, of course, Kadeem Corbin is the tournament man of the tournament, player of the tournament. He's also presented here with the player of the tournament trophy, as well as $5,000 from Campari for his exertions. The Campari player of the tournament, Kadeem Corbin, certainly put in the type of performances that crowns him as that player of the tournament. And of course, he's also the Ascension player of the tournament. Of course, James, breathtaking football throughout this tournament. Sad to see it go, but certainly some good memories.
Yeah, I'm wondering, what am I going to be doing on a Friday evening now? I've gotten so accustomed to being here on a Friday evening, taking in the atmosphere. Look at that atmosphere right now. It's a wonderful atmosphere. And I must say that Kadeem Corbin, he certainly deserves the Campari player of the tournament. He has been my favorite player. He has shown his tremendous goal-scoring capability, and I think it's well-deserved.
I think it's well-deserved, and of course, when you look at the tournament in its entirety and the type of players that would have come out of it in what we've seen, the Real Gills, Emmanuel Thomas, just to name a few, the young players, and of course the older players, the elder statesmen, Atula Guerra, Tyrone Charles, and that man that we just had in the shot, of course, Kadeem Corbin. It shows that it was a tournament, and outside of Rangers, some great performances, Defence Force, Police, of course, Canupia FC, Deportivo Point Fortin. It has been entertaining from minute 1 to minute 90 plus. Of course, the tournament sadly comes to an end, but as I said, it has certainly been a landmark in Trinidad and Tobago football.
And it certainly has unearthed lots of young potential, young talent. You look at Edwards at Terminex Lockiter Rangers. You look at Shem Clausel, players that necessarily would not have gotten this spotlight. Who do you think stands out for you as perhaps has made the biggest impact in the tournament?
I think it's Real Gill. I would like to say Shem Clausel as well, a young man that has come out of the SSFL. But I think what the impact that Real Gill has had on this tournament, as it relates to his creativity, his guile, it propelled him, of course, a national team call-up, and he went on to do well at the international level as well. That's what this tournament did for him, and it's very important to understand that, of course, as much as the football has been great here on the pitch, the entertainment has been also good. The entire package has been something that many here in Trinidad and Tobago has enjoyed throughout this entire Ascension tournament.
And what about Trinidad and Tobago football, though? What has this done for Trinidad and Tobago football? 2 years without football. Now we see the type of crowds that we're seeing at the moment. We see the type of football. Many did not expect the quality of the football to be as high as we saw this time around. What stands out, or where do you see Trinidad and Tobago football going as a result of this tournament?
Of course, the conversation about the Caribbean Ascension League is going to be pivotal as well. Now you pit the local talent, the creme de la creme that we saw here in the Ascension tournament against the top-ranking teams throughout the region. I think when you look at that and you look at what we've done in terms of the playing side and bringing players, of course, the teams, the fans coming out, I think it's only been a positive. And moving forward, it has to be an upward trajectory. We cannot go backwards, because what has been produced here in the Ascension tournament has been outstanding.
Well, first, second, and third has been crowned. It's going to be crowned tonight and celebrated as well. Let's see what is in our focus of the Ascension League for the rest of the weekend, because it's not over just yet. Moruga FC, they're going to come up against AC Port of Spain tomorrow at the Arima Velodrome. In fact, that match has been pushed right here at La Hoquita. Deportivo Point Fortin as well. They're going to be taking on Real West Fort United. And on Sunday, that's right, we're going all the way to Sunday, day before the holiday, where Central FC will take on Central Soccer World. So the Ascension is not quite over just yet. So wherever you are in Trinidad and Tobago, don't forget that you can come down and take in all of the live actions. And of course, you can also view it on all of our platforms. Of course, we've got to thank TV6 in Trinidad and Tobago. We also got to thank M&E TV for carrying some of the coverage for us. And we've got a big celebration happening later on. We've got a presentation ceremony that's coming up in just a bit.
Yeah, certainly. It's been an well, of course, the tournament in terms of the trophies to come, the performances, of course, the cash prizes as well. You have to mention that throughout. It has been well executed, the tournament. Of course, lauded throughout Trinidad and Tobago for what it's done for the sport. And when you hear coaches talk about their players being identified because the games have been televised and have been televised throughout the region, I think that's very, very important. And the role that Sportsmax has played, of course, in projecting this tournament throughout the region and the Caribbean.
Yeah, I think that's certainly understated. Of course, Sportsmax, thank you to all of our viewers all across the Caribbean, wherever you tuned in from on Sportsmax and the world. Of course, Scene TV in North America and Canada, CCN TV6 in Trinidad and Tobago, M&E TV, YouTube. Thank you so much for being with us and being part of the action. Don't forget that Sportsmax will be covering the Secondary Schools Football League live in just a couple of months' time, and you can watch it right here in schoolboy football, of course, in Jamaica as well. We're the home of champions, Sportsmax. That's what we do, and that is who we are. Well, speaking about that, we are at the home of the champions, Terminix La Hocketa Rangers, and it's going to be a big party, a big celebration. Trinidad Killer, Squid, whole heap of artists are here this evening to celebrate, and that's where we end our coverage as we say goodbye to you on behalf of the entire team. Kerry Gibbons, the entire production crew, Brent Sancho, and Colin Murray, Selwyn Melville, everybody, and there's so many people to thank right now, and we're emotional and we're celebrating. We thank you for being with us and being part of the Sportsmax family. On behalf of the entire team, we say have a great evening, and we are off to celebrate.